Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gaming Theologian channel. As you can see, I've got things all set up here, but before we do that, let's do our intro. Okay, we're going to be going tonight through the Great Palace, the final palace in Zelda 2 that finishes it all off. And I gotta say, I love the music in this palace. Like, I know this game has a lot of haters, but I would hope even they would admit this music is incredible. And the whole gold interior, everything it's intense. Now, I'll also tell you this. I do not know how to get through this palace. Yeah, I understand I could find a map online or things like that, but no, I just go through and eventually I get to where I want to go. Now, every enemy in the final palace is brand new. They could be variants of older enemies, but they're new still. In that, I see bots down there, okay? They look like regular bots. They're not. These take more, and they give 10 experience points a pop. So that's something to know about this palace, that everything in here, even if it looks familiar, it's new. And we are going to be super cautious going through here. Which is kind of interesting because the whole theme of this palace is courage. See, the Triforce, if you're familiar with Zelda lore, comes in power, wisdom, and courage. And power and wisdom showed up in the first Zelda, but now we get to courage. Power is usually held by Ganon, wisdom is held by Zelda, and Link holds courage. So what is courage? Now, some of you could be thinking that, oh heck, let me make sure that this is going through. Some of you could be thinking, and I don't know why, but it doesn't look like the Switch sound is coming through. I'll have to look into that later on. But some of you could be thinking, how is it that you can have the... Let me just do some looking around here, see if I can figure out what's going on. I can't. You're going to have to take my word on the music here. Some of you could be looking and thinking, how can you be talking about coming through here, being cautious, and still be insisting we're talking about courage? It's a good question. But the thing with courage is that courage is not the absence of fear. It's the mastery of it. When you have courage, it doesn't mean there's nothing that you're fearful of. It means you recognize that there is something fearful, and yet you come through anyway. You're still doing what you need to be doing. Okay, those are some of the rare enemies that actually give fewer experience points here. And I won't deny to you all that in many ways in my personal life, I live with great fear and often could be considered a coward. I admit that. It's nothing I'm proud of, but I admit it. C.S. Lewis said the exact same thing. He said, "You do not have to guess how I react to pain. I will tell you I am a coward." But that could just mean that if you're more scared of something, you go on and do it anyway. But in some ways, you're more brave than you realize. This is not going well. As you see, consider someone like, say, Superman. This guy is practically invincible. If he walks into your ordinary bank robbery with criminals having ordinary guns, there really isn't anything courageous about it. Well, the first time I ever saw one of those things, it scared the heck out of me because I was not expecting that. Superman's not being a man of courage because he knows those guys can't hurt him. Now, someone like Batman, on the other hand, Batman going out every night, I mean, yeah, he wears protective gear, but if he makes a mistake, that could be it for him. That could be the end of him. Okay, these guys are the worst knights of all in fact that they can jump. Fortunately, that one was under some things that made it a whole lot easier to deal with. Now, Batman, in that sense, has more courage than Superman does. Now, if you're wanting to debate who's the better superhero there, I'm not interested in engaging that one. But I will say, when it comes to courage, Batman generally is the one with more courage. And I'm pretty sure there's another one of those knights here. Yep. Fortunately, there's an easy way to take this guy down. Because one great advantage is that these guys are not very smart. Courage is also one of the great biblical virtues that's out there. That people were supposed to be courageous. Even the Greeks recognized courage as something admirable to have. Because you don't want a civilization, for instance, where all the men run away from battle. No, they're supposed to stay there and fight it out. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I guess not. Okay. If men keep running away from battle, then they're not being courageous and the society cannot function. Men have to be willing to go into places of danger. If you look at D-Day, for instance, the first people off of our planes and boats on D-Day to invade the land, they were walking into certain death. And they knew it. But if they didn't go, the other people behind them would not be able to stand. Someone had to go out there and be the first. And these guys have the biggest targets on their backs for that. Okay, so going this way wasn't very helpful. Live and learn. Like I said, I don't know the way through this dungeon. But that's not an obstacle, and I think that's important for you all to know watching this, because you might think I have every nook and cranny of this mastered. I don't. And that's okay. I don't have to know the way through here. This is also trial and error. But we're going to find our way through here together. Fortunately, I don't think that knight's back. No, I think they're called flutes. Or flukes, something of that sort. I'm not absolutely certain. I've looked it up on a Zelda wiki before. So we're going to have to backtrack. Let's remember that we have found out a way that does not get us to our goal. And I actually think it's helpful that these enemies keep coming here, because that way we can get more magic, especially because that life spell is going to be super essential here. And I'm doing this upward thrust just in case the giant bot is out here again. And Scripture itself places a huge premium on courage as well. In Acts 4, when the people pray for the Holy Spirit to come, the result is they spread the word with confidence. Because this was a scary situation. This was a case where the people were being persecuted at the time, and they didn't know how to handle it. I mean, these people had just converted to a new religion, essentially. They did not know what was going on. Although, let me clarify. I'm not sure I'd say Christianity would be a new religion to a Jew per se, so much as the fulfillment of their religion. Paul, I think, saw himself as a Jew to his dying day. So I just wanted to clarify that part there. And see, I don't remember these guys being here last time, so that could be something new. Or I'm just misremembering something. Now, some of these walls, yep, they're fake walls. And I don't think that's the last fairy we're going to see here, but this is a... I don't remember seeing a fairy in a palace since the first level. Oh boy. Now the best way to beat these guys also here is to hit them from underneath. Like that. The new Christians were in an era where courage had to be there, because Jews were wanting to kill them, and Romans would be wanting to kill them. They were being outed by their own neighbors. They were seen as socially deviant from society because of their beliefs about following a crucified man. Everything. We really need to appreciate the world they lived in, and yet they prayed for courage. They wanted courage. I want to see if we can get something. Yep, that's exactly what we were wanting. So that puts all of our stats up to the max, and we've got 1,862 experience points to get to the next level, which will bring an extra life our way. do not like this guy. In going to my personal evangelism, I'll tell you that that is an area I still lack in, because I'm frankly terrified to go talk to one person that I don't know. Initiating conversations on the spectrum is extremely difficult for me. I really have to know someone before I can do that. And now we're in an area where things are looking familiar again. Let's see where things go. Okay. And but part of me also thinks that's okay because I've got my own strengths. Okay, we've been here before. It did not work out well. So we're going to go back the other way and see what happens. I'm excellent behind a keyboard. For instance, when I can gather my thoughts and I can write things out well. And if that's my strength, that's my strength. And I can do one-on-one debate, because that doesn't involve the dreaded thing known as small talk that I absolutely hate. Do I still need to improve? Yes. There's a lot of things I need to do to improve courage in. But that's okay, because I can admit it. And I can know the areas that I'm weak in. If we were absolutely perfect people, there would be no need, there would be no courage for us. We would not be scared of things. And well, maybe we would in some sense, since Jesus had great anxiety in the garden. Remember, Jesus also displayed courage in going to the cross anyway. So now we're going to go this way and see what happens. Is there going to be a big bot here? We don't know. Link is, in the Zelda games, is also seen as an emblem of courage anyway. I mean, consider Ocarina of Time, where he's a little boy at the start of the game, and he has to go on this great big quest where he's thrust into an adult world, and he has to take on responsibilities he's never handled before. Heck, at the start of the game, really, he hasn't even hit puberty yet, and here he's going on these big, huge adventures fighting monsters much bigger than he is, and who are we to say he knew how to handle a sword right at the start? And yet, he goes on a quest. It's not even guaranteed he's going to get any reward out of it at all, but he does it anyway, and he ends up facing villains that, I mean, when we look at them on our screen, we get super excited sometimes for a battle. Heck, maybe sometimes we might get scared ourselves and think, geez, can I really handle this? But if we were like Link in that situation, and we saw some of the creatures that he saw, would we respond the same way? Would we be getting super excited to think, oh yeah, big battle coming? Or would there be fear? But remember, Link is a man of courage, not because he has fear, but because he faces it. And that's our challenge as well. As Christians, we are to face fear. Now, it doesn't mean, though, at the same time, that you do something stupid. Okay, there could be something special there, but whatever it is, we don't need it because we're already fully powered up. Or we were at least. See, the ancients talked about courage as a virtue, to be sure, but they also warned about being rash. They would not think a movie where the character has one machine gun and goes and stands off against 30 other guys with machine guns. They would not think that man is being courageous. He is being rash, because that is a real dangerous situation that he's in, and he's going in there, and his behavior is not appropriate to the situation. There is there are times when discretion says, step back, don't move forward, because it's a dangerous situation. Once again, this guy, if you're going through this game, keep this in mind when you get here, because if you just do this, it's not impossible for you to get hit. Is Link being rash at this point? Well, no. He's the only one who can face these situations, apparently. So, he's doing it, but he's also been preparing himself. He's been training, he's been working on these issues, and that's what he does in every Zelda game. Sorry about that. He builds up over time. I gotta say, the first time I ever saw this guy in a Zelda game, he freaked me out big time. Sorry, my voice is getting a little bit rough here. Link builds up in most quests. He finds items, builds up new skills, everything gradually, because he's building up for that final encounter. Well, I thought I'd cast the life spell first. I guess not. We'll use shield this time. Yeah, those guys are very hard. Not going to deny that one at all. I know there are some people who play these games and yeah, I'm sorry, people may say that they're not going to get heart containers or things like that. Yeah, I can understand that if you're trying to do a challenge run or something like that. But in reality, if Link did that, that would be stupid. Link doesn't do that. Link goes out, he builds up his skills. Everything they can. Yeah, I think I know where I'm at right now. I'm not taking chances here at all. This is too important. See, the big danger for most bots is bounce back. Now, I'm pretty sure to the right is a fairy. I don't need that, but I will take the extra life. I'm quite sure we're nearing the end of our quest here. It's much easier jumping back over these things than it was jumping forward. I did not want to take chances jumping forward, but looking over here. Yep, and that one can be a trap if you don't do the downward thrust right. But we don't need it right now. We're not going for it. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's not the right way, so we're going to go here. Now we have only 278 experience points to go. Well, basically, I think what I want you to know is that at times being scared doesn't have to be the end of things. You can have fear. Yeah, we're where we need to be. The problem comes when fear controls you so much that you don't do what you're supposed to do. And you don't want to be in that position. As Christians, we're told to live in courage because God is on our side. We don't have to live in fear. Now, I could die a couple times here, and well, one time, and that's going to be okay. This is exactly where we need to be. So I'm going to leave off the talk about fear now to focus on what's here. I could die this one time, but you notice I've got the Thunder's magic available because of this guy. You have to do that just to be able to damage him. I've got Reflect to block his fireballs. This is the Thunderbird. You have to strike his face, and by the way, if you strike it, more fireballs are going to come. Now, I really hope I can beat this guy on this level here so that I can have everything set up for the final battle, and it looks like I do. Yeah. And we also got an extra life, so we are going into this prepared. Now I'm going to do something unusual here, and that I'm going to create a suspend point here, because there's two ways you can beat this guy, and I'm going to show you the easy way first. And for the power this build on courage, I think this is appropriate because the hardest opponent you often face is yourself. Now this is the easy way to win this battle. So now we're going to go and we're going to do it the right way. The way it was intended. And note, I may not do it on my first try. And that's okay. And yeah, this is the first time Dark Link showed up. And if there's anything that's really lasted from Zelda, it's Dark Link. It's going to be the only time I get to cast life this battle. Dang it. Yeah, Dark Link is by far the toughest battle in Zelda 2. It could be the toughest boss battle in Zelda overall. I don't think I'm going to beat him this first time. But I might. Doesn't look like it though. But if you can see how close we're coming here, well, maybe. There you go. Now notice I did this without guides or walkthroughs or anything like this. Point being, you can beat Zelda 2. You can. And here we get to see the end where Link wakes up Zelda. And notice also that when I beat this game, I showed you the easy way to do it. Yes, if you want to beat Dark Link that way, you can. But I also showed you can do it for regular ways still. Actually, I think that could be the first time I beat Thunderbird and Dark Link on the same life. So, that concludes our walk through Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. Now, my thinking for next time, because I'm going to start a new game. And so next time, what I'm thinking is, no, not the Minish Cap. But I'm thinking Metroid Zero Mission, because it's supposed to be the original Metroid. And I started going through it and saw some things were changed. I thought, hey, that would be good for a walkthrough here. But if I have a game that you all would like to see me play, let me know. Or if you want to ask about a game, I'll try and do hi, what I can for my audience. For now, I affirm a virgin birth. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.